Tampa Bay still has a lot of ground to make up in the postseason race. But after 2 straight wins at Fenway Park, the Rays are feeling confident they can make a run. Tonight, they begin a crucial 7-game homestand versus reigning American League Cy Young winner Felix Hernandez and the Seattle Mariners. Catch the action on Sun Sports. Welcome to Friday Night Rays, presented by the Hard Rock at Night. We welcome you to Tropicana Field. The Rays fresh off a 5-game road trip, which they went 3-2 tonight. Open the homestand with the Seattle Mariners, the first club in. Tonight, this game 1 of the series against Seattle. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Todd Callis sitting in for Brian Anderson tonight. I'm Dwayne Statz. Great to have you aboard. We'll be hearing from Angela Jacobs throughout the evening as well. Pitching certainly was the highlight of that series at Fenway. Todd, the Rays take 2 out of 3 there, but not to be outdone or perhaps overshadowed. Ben Zobrist had 5 hits in those 2 Rays victories, and he leads this club across the board in any number of offensive categories.
Yeah, fewer adjustments with his batting stance has created some consistency this year for Ben. As you can see, last 7 games, 11 for 26, including 5 doubles. He's become a doubles machine. Zobrist now up to 40 on the year in the doubles category, and he should, barring something unusual, have a great chance to end up with a Rays single-season record. There was one off the Green Monster. Great hustle out of the box as well on another double. Continues to hit well for the Rays.
Yeah, so Zobrist has been red hot for the Rays. And, of course, pitching has been a big key for the Rays as well. Tonight, they're going to see last year's Cy Young Award winner. So Ben Zobrist and the Rays hitters could have their hands full with Felix Hernandez out there.
And Zobrist does not have very good numbers against Felix. Then again, not many Rays players do. You can see Felix Hernandez in 8 career starts has an ERA of 2.29 against Tampa Bay. That's the best against any opponent in the young 25-year-old right-hander's career. This is a guy that can dominate with the best of them. His numbers this year aren't as good as a Cy Young Award season, but then again, you don't see many seasons like that.
On the Coventry Healthcare pitching matchup, Felix Hernandez, 11-10. He was 13-12 as a Cy Young Award winner last year. 11-10 coming into the game tonight. Wade Davis goes to the hill for the Rays. His mark is 8-7. Great starting pitching at Fenway Park. Wade Davis will try to pick up that baton and carry it to the hill to open this homestand. Angela Jacobs has more on that. The sizzling starting staff when we return.
return home off a very, very impressive road trip in Boston. Now they're back home against the Seattle Mariners, and the Rays have been powered by pitching and a red-hot rotation up in Boston that made some history at Fenway. Check it out. Back-to-back complete games in Tuesday's doubleheader between James Shields and Jeff Neiman, followed by a 4-3-hit shutout by David Price, combining with Kyle Farnsworth in that game for the 4-zip shutout. Today, the ball will go to Wade Davis to help continue that streak.
For all of our starters, they are motivated by one another. I think you're going to see a nice bounce with Wade because of what our other guys did in this last road trip. I've said it before, he was not pleased that we took him out of the rotation in Boston and moved them back to this point with Seattle. So for two reasons. You're absolutely right. The fact that he's pitching against Hernandez is going to motivate him, and then furthermore, the fact that we moved him a little bit. I know he wasn't pleased with that, so I'm really expecting him to be pretty good tonight.
The spotlight is on Wade Davis, looking for his first win against Seattle in his 9th of the season. Felix Hernandez has won 3 of 4. Stay tuned as Dwayne Statz and Todd Callis are up next to call all the action in high definition. That's next in Sun Sports.
By AT&T, by Coventry Healthcare of Florida, lighting the way to better health, and by your local Southern Ford dealers. Welcome inside Tropicana Field, a comfortable 72 degrees. The Rays taking on the Seattle Mariners tonight. 40 games remaining. The Rays start the day 9 back in the AL East, 8.5 back of second place Boston. The Seattle lineup, Ichiro leads it off, followed by Franklin Gutierrez and then Adam Kennedy. Mike Karp is the cleanup hitter at first. Casper Wells, the DH. Miguel Olivo, the catcher. Luis Rodriguez is the shortstop. Kyle Seager will play second base and hit 8th. And Trayvon Robinson is in left field hitting 9th.
Wade Davis makes his 22nd start of the year, working on 8 days of rest. Last pitched a week ago Wednesday, and he tries to carry on after a remarkable starting performance by the Rays in Boston.
Set to make the start tonight. The first pitch is down and in, a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Ichiro in there at 265. You're way more accustomed to that average maybe being 365, but it's been a tough year for him. And he fouls it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Out of that leadoff spot. Leading off a lineup that day in and day out has not been a high-powered lineup at all. And there is ball 2. Pitch pretty close. Take a look.
This one Wade wants early. Establish that down and away. That is a strike. Perfect pitch.
And a bouncing ball foul. 2-2. Mike Winters is calling the balls and strikes. He's the crew chief of this group. And he will not be an aggressive strike caller if he holds true to what his performance has been in the past. He does not go out there looking for strikes, and we've seen that already. Foul ball. Count holding at 2 balls, 2 strikes. So if you're going to throw strikes, and you would think that's going to be both sides, and that's all you're looking for is consistency. But he's going to make you throw a strike. Just a little piece of that one, and Suzuki fouls it.
Good to see early on Wade coming out with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and that's been a key for him early in the first inning. Establish that fastball. Don't sit around the 90-mile-an-hour range. Get that good heater going early, and it is so far tonight.
And Ichiro fouls this one away, just really defeating that pitch. It was going to be not nearly as close as a couple of those other pitches, but he wasn't taking any chances. And that's one of the great attributes that he's had as a hitter. And another foul ball off a fastball. So right away we're involved in an extended at bat with Ichiro up there. This will be the 9th pitch of this at bat to the Seattle leadoff man. And it's down and in. He threw him a curveball right there, and it's a full count. And a pop-up coming straight back, foul, Jaso, and he makes the catch. So Wade Davis wins the elongated battle there with Ichiro Suzuki.
Rays defense tonight behind Wade Davis in the outfield. Desmond Jennings, B.J. Upton, Matt Joyce on the infield. Evan Longoria and Sean Rodriguez on the left side. Ben Zobrist and Casey Kotchman on the right side. You just saw John Jaso and his return back from his rehab assignment at Durham, and Wade Davis on the mound.
Franklin Gutierrez, the center fielder. The pitch is a strike to start him. Gutierrez at just 219, but he's been swinging the bat better recently. Been a difficult year for him physically, battling stomach problems. Wade Davis out in front, 0-2. Just recently, as Gutierrez started to return to his offensive form. The 0-2 delivery. Liner down to third. Fair ball, and it's caught by Longoria. 2 up, 2 down.
Well, just a little bit of a tweak for Wade Davis in his pregame preparation the last 2 games. You can see what's happened in his previous 3 starts before his last one out. Again, that was 8 days ago against Kansas City here on the 10th. 10 runs in his 3 previous starts prior to that. So he's come out and throwing well, and that was part of the plan, getting him to go stronger in this bullpen session leading up to the game.
Now here's Adam Kennedy playing third base, and there's a first pitch strike. So Davis, one of the things they talked about him in the past when he struggled was the need to command the fastball. He's showing some signs of doing that here in the first inning. 0-2 to Kennedy.
Yeah, 12 out of 15 strikes so far. That's a very good percentage, and Ichiro gave him a battle. That's the only 3 balls he's thrown out of the zone.
2-strike pitch. Strike 3 call. They got him. Fastball. A 1-2-3 first for Wade Davis. Good start for the 25-year-old right-hander. It has Desmond Jennings leading off. Then Johnny Damon and Evan Longoria. Then Zobrist hitting cleanup in front of Casey Kotzman and B.J. Upton. Matt Joyce bats seventh. With John Jaso just back off the DL hitting eighth. And Sean Rodriguez, the number 9 hitter.
King Felix, still only 25 years of age, makes his 27th start of the year. 199 in his big league career against the Rays. He has always had success, as he has faced them 8 times so far.
And the first pitch, Desmond takes it up and in. A ball and no strikes. Felix Hernandez turns and delivers, and a line drive into left, and that ball is caught by diving Robinson. Robinson taking an extra base hit away from Desmond Jennings. A hot shot liner, and Robinson, with good speed out there, made the catch.
Took a big chance here with Desmond Jennings' speed. If this gets by him, it's at least a triple, probably stand up. Even though Gutierrez was going to back it up, he takes a big risk and it pays off. Great diving catch by the young Mariners left fielder.
Now the first pitch to Johnny Damon is a strike. Trayvon Robinson with great speed in left field. He's very athletic, and they say that with that speed and his arm is good enough, he could play center field, they think. In left field now with Gutierrez, a Gold Glove in center already. Pitch started wide and broke over a curveball for strike 2. Fastball is in off the plate, 2-2. And Johnny Damon is out on strikes on that changeup, and that changeup is 89 miles an hour.
Here's the Mariners defense you talked about. Very good defensive outfield with Gold Gloves of Gutierrez and Suzuki. And you saw Trayvon Robinson, what he could do. Adam Kennedy at third, Luis Rodriguez at shortstop, Kyle Seager at second, Mike Karp at first, Miguel Olivo behind the plate for Felix Hernandez.
Now Evan Longoria against Felix Hernandez. Starts him with a pitch off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Hernandez will set his own pace out there. And he throws a strike there. I tell you, he gives you basic variations of that fastball, but a curveball and a slider and a changeup. He comes back with a curve following a slider. The curve's at 80 or 81. The changeup is like an average major league fastball, 89 or sometimes 90.
Yeah, it's unusual to have the differentiation between the fastball and the changeup that close, but he's able to get good movement and deception on it.
This pitch lifted right back into center field. GUTIERREZ is there to make the catch, and 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. We head into the second. No score. Before we go to the second, let's take a look at that called third strike on Adam Kennedy. Right on the corner, but the pitch is up. And in the at bat to Ichiro, there was a pitch down on the corner that was called a ball. And that's just something that's maybe idiosyncratic, apparently, to Mike Winters. He tends to give that call on the corner if it's up. If it's down, you might not always get that call. Not a criticism of the plate umpire, just an observation that people have made over the years, and it turned out to be true right there in the first inning. Carp fouls this one right back, got a little bit of it right back into the mid of Jaso, and the count is 1-1. So just something to put in your back pocket as the game progresses, and we'll see how these two pitchers work that. Ground ball right side, and a ground ball that Zobrist could not field cleanly. He made a nice effort to knock it down. That's going to be a base hit for Carp and will extend his hitting streak. It's now 18. Zobrist, in his own mind, thinks he should have thrown him out.
Watch Couchman first. He thought he had to play. Then he goes to the bag. If Zobrist picks it up right here, he's out. But he can't grab it the second time. That was the frustrating part. He knocks it down. Nice play to knock it down. But if he picks it up cleanly here, he gets Carp. But he just couldn't find the handle as he was looking up to make the throw.
So Carp has a base hit, an infield hit, and an 18-game hitting streak. The DH is Casper Wells. He came over from Detroit. And the pitch is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Wells with pretty good power. They refer to his power as raw power. He's hit 5 home runs in 13 games with Seattle. Tap foul. That evens the count at 1-1.
That spot in the strike zone that you were talking about with Winters is a spot that you see sometimes with umpires called the blind spot. It's the opposite corner of where they're set up. And a lot of times they can't see that as clearly as a ball that's further up, like you saw in the called third strike.
Yeah, and some umpires will give that pitch off the plate because they don't see it as well. Same thing with a hitter trying to hit that pitch down and away. And Back in the days when they talked about the expanding strike zone, you could get a lot of strikes off the plate out there. He checked in time on the appeal down to Mike Everett. So the count goes to 2-1.
This is close. This is real close. That's one you could go either way.
2 balls and a strike to count. So those umpires who would give that pitch off the corner and call it a strike as well, he's back there looking for strikes. And other umpires are going to be more conservative, and they're not going to look for strikes. And I think winners would fall into the latter category. He's just going to make it those strikes.
And you can see on this one, he's lined up on the inside. So inside corner, he has a clear shot of that. That's going to be called. But the outside pitches, Wayne was talking about the knees, that's the one where you get a little blind, whether it's a righty or lefty hitter, because he's setting up on the opposite side.
2-2 now to Wells. Pitch is down and away. The count is full. Seattle will be getting a 6-day, 7-game road trip. They'll play 3 here and then 4 in Cleveland. And there is strike 3 call. The pitch up, and Wells caught looking.
You hit the glove, good things happen. John Jaso wanted the 2-2 pitch inside. Wade missed with that. This time he hits the glove, and that is in a perfect spot. Casper Wells trying to draw the walk, but this is all over the inner half of the plate, and Winters has a good look at it.
Second strikeout for Wade Davis. 1 away in the second. Here's Miguel Olivo, the catcher. Pitch darts in. Jaso wants an opinion from Everett out at first, and he says nope. He held up. A 1-0 count. Fouled back. Olivo's been in and out of the lineup lately. He's been banged up like a lot of catchers get. 10th year. Well, that's a lot of bumps and bruises for a catcher over a 10-year period.
Shown some good power this year. A few home runs off the Rays. He's tagged Joel Peralta a couple times.
Now the count's 2 balls and a strike.
Olivo's one of the few veterans, if you will, getting a chance to play in this Mariners lineup. They are very young. A lot of guys really getting a chance in the big leagues for the first time.
I think they have 11 or 12 rookies on their team right now. Well, that's almost half the roster for Eric Wedge. It's fouled back. I tell you, it makes a lot of sense, being where they are. And had a tough year last year, and things didn't work out quite the way they thought they might. So they made a couple of deals. They've acquired some young talent. Developed some young players themselves, and they're getting a look at all of that here in the mix now. Foul ball off his foot. There's another bump and a bruise for Olivo.
Yeah,
he gets banged up even when he's hitting.
Yeah, he's got that shin guard on the left foot. There you see it, protecting the ankle, and instead it hits his knee. Of course, unprotected.
To the West, with Texas over the Angels by 6, and Seattle in the basement there, 17.5 back at 53 and 69. They've gone 10 and 21 since the All-Star break. So they're looking at a lot of their young players now.
They went through that dreadful stretch right before the Rays saw them. They've played over 500. If you take away that losing streak.
Strike call on the outside corner. He threw him a curveball right there and gets the call. 3 strikeouts for Wade Davis. They've all been called third strikes, and we'll take another look at this one.
We talked about the outer half of the plate. If it's up, you've got a chance. This is a breaking ball that is on the plate and on the outside corner. Miguel Olivo thinks it's too far out, but with 2 strikes, he did not protect, and he's called out.
Here's Luis Rodriguez. Switch hitting shortstop, Rodriguez. The pitch is in a little bit off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. The Mariners come into this game last in the league in hitting, last in runs scored. They've averaged 3.39 runs a game. 2-0. They're actually 6th in the league in pitching team ERA. It's 3.72.
That's the thing. When they had that long 17-game losing streak, their pitching failed them for really the only time this year. But the rest of the season, it's been a struggle scoring runs for this team. They have been dreadful offensively.
Two and 0 the count. And the fastball is in off the plate. 3-0. Here's a graphic look at the Mariners offense and where they are. Home runs, on base percentage at .293. 25th in walks drawn.
That is graphic. It's ugly. Last place in every major category.
And there's ball 4. Rodriguez walks, pushing Carp up to second base.
Tonight's game is available in Spanish via SAP, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida.
Two men on here in the second inning with 2 gone. Kyle Seager, left-handed hitting infielder out of North Carolina. The pitch is a strike call, a fastball. Wade made 16 pitches there in the first, up to 20 here in the second inning so far. And a foul out of play. 0-2.
I think Wade was a little disappointed he didn't get a chance to pitch on that last road trip. As it turns out, it paid off for the Rays. David Price starting and ending the road trip, looking like the David Price of 2010. But Wade really wanted to pitch against either the Yankees or the Red Sox on that trip, and instead he gets the Mariners. So I think he's pretty amped up tonight.
It's fouled out of play by Seager. Well, that's the way you want it. You don't want a guy who likes being skipped in the rotation, and you want a guy who's going to be competitive out there and not like the idea that he's not going to take his regular turn. Wade's numbers 9 days ago against Kansas City got off to a good start, allowing 4 runs in that one. Seager hits a high fly ball to center, a lot of room for Upton. DJ makes the catch. 2 men left, and we go to the Rays. Half of inning 2, no score.
The Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Rays home run during televised Sun Sports or Fox Sports Florida games.
Here's Ben Zobrist to lead off the home half of the second. Takes a good look at the fastball too low. 1 ball, no strikes. And leading the team with 42 base hits now. This one is down. He is second in the league in extra base hits. Curtis Granderson leads the American League with 63 extra base hits. Ben next with 61. He's ahead of the count 3-0. He is third in all of Major League Baseball. B.J. Upton's brother with the Diamondbacks has 64 extra base hits to lead the majors in extra base hits. There's a walk drawn by Ben Zobrist. Ben does that as well.
4-pitch walk by Felix coming out here in the bottom half of the second inning. Zobrist has had trouble against Felix, but he was able to not see a strike during that count. Able to get on to start this bottom of the second.
Here's Casey Kochman. Yeah, you get the leadoff man on against Felix Hernandez. It's almost as if you have a rally going.
Absolutely.
Kochman looks at a first pitch breaking ball, and that's in there for a strike. Swing and a miss, a fastball right there, and it makes it 0-2. Hernandez has some really interesting numbers if you break it down pitch by pitch and count by count. The opposition's hitting only .238 against him, but if you make contact on the first pitch, the opposition's hitting .350 against him. Okay, that's one thing. The guy's around the plate a lot. This one is down. But if you get down 0-1, they're hitting .333 off him on 0-1 counts.
That doesn't make sense.
But if you go 0-2, it drops to 129. Good luck. And if you happen to be ahead in the count 3-1, it's only 133. You got to think that changeup has a lot to do with that 3-1 number.
Well, that's what Johnny Damon was talking about before the game. He said most of his success against Felix came earlier in his career when he relied more heavily on the fastball. He said now he is mixing in that changeup more and mixing in the curveball more. And Johnny's only 2 for his last 6 after starting 8 for 12 in his career against this guy. Actually 2 for his last 7. He struck out his first time up.
1-2 to Kochman. A little piece of it foul, rolling off to the right.
And he struck out on a changeup. So you're right. This is a guy who you never. I mean, every count seems like a tough count. That 0-1 count number though seems highly unusual.
Doesn't it?
Doesn't make any
sense. No, nothing. Not at all. I mean, that's the one that that really surprises you. Swing and a miss. Kochman out on a changeup. Second strikeout, and both have come on the change.
We talked about the changeup being about 89, and that's where this one is, 89. Not a huge separation from his fastball, but there you see just a little bit of that tailing action away from the left-hand hitter. Kochman down 2 strikes, had to protect that corner and didn't get it.
That'll be Upton, B.J. Upton. And a shot down the left field line. That's a foul ball. A line drive. Well struck on that first pitch.
we talked about the separation being normally 5 to 6 miles an hour. That was a changeup again. BJ geared up for the fastball on the first pitch. BJ's had all kinds of problems against Felix in his career, so he was coming out ambush mode, gets a pitch right in the middle of the plate, just a little early on the trigger, because he hit a BB down the line that would have either hit the wall or barely cleared that little short porch and left.
Now he shoots one into center field. Franklin Gutierrez is right there. So on the fastball, Upton skies to center. 2 outs with Zobrist still at first after drawing the leadoff walk. It's going to get Matt Joyce to the plate.
Be good to see Matt get going again. It's been a year of streaks for Matt. He's had months like May where he's been as good as anybody in the league, and then lately he hasn't been able to find that consistent stroke.
275 right now for the year. Over to first, and Zobrist is back in. We had a chance on the last trip to examine that hit chart of Matt Joyce, and you can see the difference. Swing and a miss. You know, when he had that great month early, it was up around 360. He hit the ball all over the place. But since then, when he has struggled, he's loaded up with balls hit to right field.
Yeah, you can see him pull off that changeup a little bit first pitch.
Zobrist on the move, and the throw down is in time. Zobrist called out at second base with Rodriguez taking the peg. Been caught for the 5th time this year. We're through 2, no score.
I'm Angela Jacobs here. We want to remind you that tomorrow night here at Tropicana Field is Cancer Awareness Night. It is Raise Up to Cancer. And here, a special guest I have with me now is Dusty Showers. He's a cancer awareness advocate. And Dusty, this is part of your work because it hits close to home, as it does so many people.
It definitely does. It struck my family very hard. First my grandmother and then my former wife are both survivors of it. So it's very important to me.
Talk about some of the work that you're involved with now.
I do a lot of events. I help support events and hold my own to raise money and both raise awareness and stress the importance of doing screenings and self-awareness for everybody out there.
Trayvon Robinson with the double here in the top of the 3rd, and we want to let everybody know that tomorrow night at the end of the 6th inning they'll get these placards to put a name of someone who's been affected by cancer, and at the end of the 6th inning they'll get to raise them up. I put my mom's name since she's a 2-time breast cancer survivor. And who do you have there?
I just put some of my friends' names. I couldn't narrow it down, unfortunately.
All right, Dusty, thank you so much. Obviously, cancer is something that affects so many people. 1.6 million cases will be diagnosed this year. If you'd like to join in tomorrow night, just go to raisebaseball.com or call 1-888-FAN-RAISE. Tickets start at $12. Guys, back to you.
All right, Angela, thank you. The leadoff double by Robinson. A fastball hit into the corner. And here's Ichiro Suzuki chopping it down to first. Kochman aggressively up with the ball with an eye toward third. But he takes the out at first, and Robinson advances. Robinson with good speed.
Basic professional bat there by Ichiro. He knows with Felix Hernandez, 1 run, 2 runs could be good enough. So he's just going to try and pull a ground ball on the right side, which he does, and now forces the Rays to make a move defensively. That shows how much they respect Felix.
Yeah, they pull the infield in here in the third inning with Robinson down at third base and 1 out. Franklin Gutierrez, who's been better than his season's numbers indicate lately. He pops it foul. That's going to be out of play. Strike 1.
And the Rays know defensively that there is speed at third. So not only are they playing the infield in, the right side, Zobrist and Kochman are in on the new AstroTurf. And that's as close as you usually see guys in an infield in situation.
Yeah, Kochman has come in a couple more steps now. How about that? He's looking into the dugout saying, are you sure you want me to be this close?
It's like when you're playing to avoid a sacrifice fly, you have to have your defenders in the outfield play shallow enough they can throw the guy out at home. Same thing now for the infield with speed at third.
Well, they backed him up a step or so, but he's still in on the turf. That's a strike call, a fastball. Good pitch by Davis to get ahead, 0-2.
Now if you're Wade, you think strikeout mode. You know you've got a speedy runner on third. Contact plays probably on here for the Mariners. You try and find a way to finish off Gutierrez and then let your defense go back to normal positioning.
Two-strike pitch. And it's down a bit. It had some bite to it, and it's 1-2.
A little close. Gutierrez chased it down with his eyes, said he thought it was out of the zone. So now you think maybe you can get him upstairs chasing something. Move that eye level around during this at bat.
And the pitch is blocked by Jaso. A curveball right there. The element of surprise. And a nice job by Jaso, who's just back off the DL on a rehab assignment in the minor leagues.
Yeah, this is good stuff because this pitch bounces well early. In fact, Gutierrez thought about it for a moment. This is not even on the plate. It bounces in front of the plate. Jaso gets that full body in front of it, and it hits right in the middle of his chest protector.
Got a nice angle with his upper body there to sort of cradle that ball to keep it in front of him. 2-2 the count to Gutierrez. The ground ball shortstop glove by Rodriguez, and the throw missed by Jaso. It'll go to the backstop. The run scores. A nice pickup by Rodriguez, and Jaso tried to put the tag down before he could take the throw. And the Mariners take a 1-0 lead.
Well, that's what speed can do. It'll put pressure on your defense. Sean Rodriguez had to move a little bit to his right, and then his throw starts to tail a little bit on John Jaso. It's a quick release. Watch this. Nice backhand, clean play by Rodriguez. Then his throw starting to tail up the third baseline, and Jaso knows he needs to grab the ball and make a quick swipe tag on Trayvon, but never secured the baseball. There you see the wide throw by Sean Rodriguez. If that throws anywhere near the right-handed batter's box, Jaso is able to make the tag.
Now here's Adam Kennedy. Pitch is now. It's going to be a fielder's choice and an error charge to Rodriguez on the throw. And Seattle takes a 1-0 lead, and now Gutierrez is in scoring position. And a one-hopper to third. Nice pickup by Longoria. That was a low liner that he grabbed on one hop to get the out. And Gutierrez remains at second base. Put a little star by that one for Longoria. Nicely done.
Longoria does a drill with Tom Foley before every home game where he stands on his knees and has ground balls hit at him. And it allows him to work just his hands. And right there, that was great glove work. Being able to get that short hop right off the ground because he thought it was maybe a line drive he could catch on the fly. Then to adjust at the last second, it looked a lot easier than the play was, for sure.
Now Mike Karp, who had the infield hit in the second inning. Pitch inside, 1-0. The point you made about Robinson's speed is absolutely true. It was his speed that got him to second base to begin with, and then the move to third on that sharply hit ground ball by Ichiro. And then he really forced the Rays' hands defensively on a nice pickup by Sean Rodriguez, but he had to hurry the throw, and it did sail. And Jaso trying to make the tag anyway. He's trying to catch it and tag at the same time. So the run scores, and Gutierrez winds up in scoring position. Pitch is high. It's 2-1.
Just like a pitcher for Sean Rodriguez, sometimes you rush your delivery, and he was rushing his throw. He didn't get behind it. The ball took off on him towards the third base side, and it was just a little bit out of Jaso's grasp. Had he made the catch, it would have been interesting to see if he would have made the tag in time. It would have been a nice play.
Karp fouls it back. 2-2. Karp came into the game hitting .329 up to .333 with the infield hit his first time. Up a little bit with a fastball, and the count goes full.
As good as Karp's going right now, 2 strikes. He thinks this is just off the plate, and he's right. That's a tough pitch to take, though.
Yeah, they say he's locked in. I guess he is if he's taking those pitches. And it's high. Give me an idea how locked in he may be. You know, there was a pitch when Ichiro had that 10-pitch at bat in the first. There was a pitch that was nowhere near as good a pitch as that, and Ichiro decided he'd better try to foul it off, and did, to keep that at bat going. Karp just took that pitch, said, hey, my eyes are that good right now.
Yeah, and Karp's one of the guys who's taken advantage of this opportunity to play on a regular basis. We told you earlier, with all these rookies on the team, Karp's been around with the Mets, but getting a chance to play on a regular basis for the first time in Seattle, and so far so good in the last month or so.
Yeah, he's really a guy who, when you look at his splits, they're pretty confident that he can hit right-handed pitching. The question is, can he hit left-handed pitching? And right now, he's hitting everything. In this little hitting streak he's got going. 1 strike to count to Wells now. Go. He did not on the appeal. Mike Everett says he held up. See what you think.
Davis tried to get him to chase, pitched down in the dirt a little bit away, and just held up. Imperative for Wade here to try and get Wells. His pitch count starting to grow a little bit, nearing 60 in the third inning.
And he got him. Struck him out there on a slider. 1 run scored. We got to the bottom of the third. 1-0 Seattle.
Celebrate that special occasion by purchasing a game-used lineup card, base, baseball, or autographed items from your favorite Rays players. These one-of-a-kind items can be purchased at raysbaseball.com/gameday or at the team store at Tropicana Field.
Matt Joyce, who was at the plate in the second when the inning ended on the caught stealing, leads off the bottom of the third. Takes the curveball outside, 1-0. Joyce, an awkward swing at that one. The count is 1-1.
Almost like he wasn't ready for the delivery by Hernandez. There you see, just like, why am I swinging right now?
And there's a strike call. That curveball, a very good pitch.
Watch this. If you're a lefty hitter, you've given up on that.
Hernandez working so quickly you can't even get a replay of his prior pitch in.
Yeah, he is. He's got a different pace this inning than even the previous two. He's getting it and throwing it.
And he strikes out Joyce. And him out in front. He's going to get John Jaso to the plate. Just back off the DL from that oblique injury and happy to be back.
Basically just rest and then therapy, kind of building up muscles around it to kind of, relieve tension off that one spot. And after that, just starting to swing in the cage. It was like spring training all over again, pretty much. And, did my rehab stint down the minors and did all right down there and felt good. So they called me back up.
Well, here he is. He's back up and he gets to face the Cy Young Award winner from a year ago.
Well, welcome back, right?
Tapped by the mound to second. Seager has it and the throw to first in time. So with Jaso back, Robinson Chirinos heads back to Durham. So Chirinos up at 218, got his first big league home run while he was here.
It's tough to learn defensive mechanics at the big league level, and I think Robinson really needs to work on his catching skills. But it was fun to watch him. I think he's got some hope for the future. And hey, who knows? That catching position next year, that's pretty much up for grabs right now.
Hey, somebody wants to come in and claim it, it's there. You're right. There's a strike to Sean Rodriguez to start him. A fastball on the corner. And he pulls off the breaking pitch. 0-2. He might see another one of those.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. This is a tough matchup for Sean. He does have a couple of hits against Felix, but this right-hander can just devastate right-hand hitters.
And he's out on strikes. So it's a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the fourth, 1-0 Seattle. AT trivia question. Braves allowed just 9 total hits in their 3-game series at Fenway versus the Red Sox since 1973. That's the American League record for fewest hits allowed in a 3-game series. Miguel Olivo, the catcher, leads it off. Hits it hard and just foul. The ball just barely outside of third base. Strike one. Olivo, Rodriguez, and then Seager. Wade Davis about to make his 60th pitch of the night. And the curveball is low and outside, 1-1. Ball third, and right there is Longoria, whose throws on the money. That's the first out. Luis Rodriguez will bat. Well, the Rays trying to go 11 games over 500. This is their 5th attempt to get beyond 10 games over. Pitch is down 1-0. And one of the frustrating parts the Rays have gone through this year is against the American League West. They're 10-15 against the West. 2-0. And you know, they're not the only club that way. You know, there are a lot of clubs when you travel east to west, and then you go up and down the coast, and for some reason it's not easy for teams to make, you know, you go, geez, pick it up 3 hours, you know.
Right.
You get in early, maybe that's a problem. You get in early and it's not as early as you think.
Well, I think when you go to the AL West, whether it's here or their place, you know you're going to face some pretty good pitching. But the problem has been the Rays pitching hasn't been as good when they've gone out west.
Yep.
That's the division you want to have a winning record against.
It's a foul ball going to be out of play. Well, you go all the way west. I mean, Texas now in the west, you know, they're tough. Right? They're going to be tough in that ballpark It's a hitter's park, and it's not an easy place to pitch. But you've got Seattle and Oakland. Those are great places to pitch.
Yeah, you love the cavernous ballparks out there. Very pitcher friendly.
3-2 to fly ball. Right center for Joyce. Matt makes the catch. Rodriguez is out number 2. 2 up, 2 down.
Although Tropicana Field is slowly becoming a pitcher-friendly ballpark the last few years.
Yeah, it really does skew toward the pitcher, and really skews this year.
Right.
And for a couple of reasons. Number one, the Rays have a great staff. I mean, this pitching staff and the starters and what they've had to do with the bullpen, that's a story in and of itself. But these starters recently, I mean, they have been very, very good. Line drive off the bat of Seager and over Zobra's glove and to right for a base hit. So that first pitch fastball, and Seager turns it into a base hit.
Thought Zobrist might have timed this up perfectly. It just missed the tip of his glove by less than a foot. As you see the swing here by Seager, it's a fastball that he turns on, hits it well, but Zobrist was waiting. Watch Zobrist time as he waits. Top of his apex, just not enough.
So here's Robinson. Trayvon Robinson, just 23 years old, takes a big cut, misses. He doubled into the right field corner his last time up. That was a leadoff double in the 3rd, hitting again in the 4th inning.
He has been really late on 2 fastballs, 91 and 90. Here's another look. Wade just staying with the number 1. This is just off the plate, but close enough. And watch how deep this ball gets on Trayvon before he's swinging. The best he can do with that is foul it off to the left side.
It's a little wide, stayed out there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, Robinson had been at Albuquerque when the Mariners were involved in that trade. It also involved the Red Sox and the Dodgers. That's why he'd been playing at Albuquerque. Ground ball foul. So it's 2-2. He'd hit over 290 there and was on the All-Star team in the Pacific Coast League.
You mentioned he's a guy that can play center field too, and that'll put a little fire under Franklin Gutierrez, who is, as you mentioned, has some health issues but really struggled offensively this year.
That's strike 3 call. He got him looking on the fastball. Strikeout number 5 for Davis. 1-0 Seattle. fifth, and the Rays trail 1-0. Time to get the answer to the AT&T trivia question. Rays allowed just 9 total hits in their 3-game series in Boston. Since 1973, what's the American League record for fewest hits allowed in a 3-game set? And that would be 8 hits allowed. 4 different teams, limiting the opposition to 8 hits in a 3-game series. Which was going to be a breaking ball with a few that didn't slide that much, and it's a ball to Jennings. The Angels back in '73 against Baltimore, then the Orioles against Boston, the Brewers, Mariners, the Orioles, and the Rays. Now involved with 9, 2-0. That's tough to do. And in fact, in Boston, had never been done. It had been done to the Red Sox by the Orioles, but not in Boston. And so that's the first time that any team ever has limited the Red Sox to 9 hits, 3 in each game. And the Rays staff did that. 3-1 the count to Desmond Jennings.
That is going to go down as, in the last 30 or 40 years, one of the best pitched series of any team, considering the circumstances, too. You're talking about the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, and Shields, who pitched so well, actually took a loss in that 3-1 game. Ball 4 to Jennings. Second walk issued by Felix Hernandez, and the Rays have their second leadoff walk of the night.
Ben Zobrist was the last guy with the leadoff walk. He was unable to advance to second. He tried to steal, but Olivo caught him on a play that in replays looked like it was a bang-bang. Could have gone either way, but you've got to think Desmond Jennings is thinking about swiping it back here.
Yeah, the Rays have to think about that for a couple of reasons. One, Hernandez will give up a steal. Pitch, Damon pops it up. Foul ball straight back. Olivo's going to run out of room. Strike 1. Coming into this game with Hernandez on the mound, the opposition had swiped 22 bases. They've been caught 7 times. And it's so difficult to get a runner into scoring position. You're going to try to steal with every opportunity with him out there.
Desmond continues to learn pitchers as he goes around the league. He's going to get a chance to try to draw a move. He doesn't have a huge lead right now.
Over to first, and Desmond back in. Well, here's Johnny Damon. We talked about it earlier, but here's another reason you might want a guy in scoring position with Damon up there, although a lot of that came early. But he's hitting .526 in his career against Hernandez. Fly ball center field. Gutierrez is back to make the catch. And Jennings retreats to first base. Well, here's Evan Longoria. Evan came into the game 4 out of 10 against him. Hit a fly ball to center his first time.
One of the few matchups this season where Longoria's hairstyle is more conservative than the pitcher he's facing.
There goes Jennings. The pitch down and away, and there's no play. The ball popped out of the mitt of Olivo. And he took the slider to run on and steals the base. That's 10 stolen bases for Desmond Jennings.
Mentioned he didn't have a huge lead, but watch him accelerate. Watch this crossover, and then that is beautiful to watch. This guy's at full speed within 2 strides. And even if he picks that cleanly, there's no way Olivo gets him.
Yeah, he's not going to throw him out. So it's a 1-0 count. Man in scoring position now. Longoria fouls it. This ball in on him, and it's a 1-1 count.
Fun to watch Desmond's progress. As he continues to learn pitchers, he'll be more comfortable with bigger leads, but as you saw there, he doesn't need a big lead. Pick up an easy steal.
Not out of the realm of possibility that he could steal third. That's a strike. Well, that's a dandy pitch right there. I mean, You talk about breaking a pitch exactly where you want it. Now it's 1-2.
Watch Evan, just a slight buckle here, and you don't see that very often with Evan, where he has a little flinch and it's a tough pitch.
The Cy Young Award pitch right there. And Longoria stays alive on that one. Doing that changeup. How about that? To be so young. 82 wins, 63 losses. He doesn't get much support either. I mean, this guy pitches low scoring games all the time. And a swing and a miss. He strikes out Longoria. Got him on another changeup. I've got all of his strikeouts coming on changeups.
Yeah, all 5 have been on the strikeout. Have been on the changeup, and there you see why. Against the righty, you're protecting the plate. You see this on the inner half, and then by the time it tails inside, Longoria is all tied up. He had no chance at that pitch. That changeup has been such a good weapon for Felix tonight.
Now Ben Zobrist. And Ben takes a curveball. That's a strike. Ben walked his first time and was caught stealing. Seattle scored an unearned run in the third. And Zobrist swinging over that changeup.
One of those nights that it looks like number 34 has everything working. He's got that changeup we saw to Longoria that moved in on his hands, and there's the same changeup that moves away to a lefty and looks good for a while and then just buries itself.
Well, it's got that great fastball look.
Yep.
Oh, 2 the count. Strikes. You know, he's a classic case of a guy who can break the ball 2 different ways. And if you can do that with command, and you can throw 95 if you want, you got a chance to win a Cy Young. 2-2. And boy, what he's done against the Rays at 229. He's made, this is his 9th start against the Rays. He's had 6 games against them when he's limited them either to 0 or 1 run. The 2-2. Now it's a full count.
The scary thing is, he might get better. He's only 25. I mean, this guy is, he's one of the best at a young age. His win against the Rays, he became the Mariners' all-time winner and for a right-hander win. So this guy's done it all already at a young age, and he's got a chance to keep getting better.
3-2. Zobrist is out on strikes. And now Olivo chases him down the line and finally flips it down to Carp. So it's a 2-3 on the strikeout. We're through 4, 1-0 Seattle.
by Just for Men, Mustache and Beard. Felix Hernandez keeping his edge tonight, as not allowed to hit through 4 innings and keeping the Rays held in check. Just as Felix Hernandez gives the Mariners the edge, you can keep your edge with Just for Men, Mustache and Beard.
Ichiro leads off the 5th. Here's Todd.
Wayne, thank you. A called strike from Wade Davis as Wade begins the 5th inning, having thrown 73 pitches through 4, just over 18 an inning. 0-2 to Ichiro. Rays play Ichiro way around towards the line in left field. Desmond Jennings was guarding that line in left. And this one is a little cue shot. Watch the English on this. Barehanded by Rodriguez, his only chance. No play as Ichiro has an infield hit. Sean did everything he could, Dwayne, but that ball was in a spot where Ichiro was going to beat it out.
Yeah, it's number one. He still has some speed, Ichiro, and this infield, as we've come to learn, is not a fast infield. And with the reverse spin on that ball, a tough play from the get-go. Try to barehand it. And if you do that now, let's see if you can throw him out. And the answer is no with his speed down the line.
That little reverse spin, that's a tough barehand play. Nice play by Sean Rodriguez, but Ichiro with his speed easily beats it out. So here's Franklin Gutierrez. Gutierrez was batting when the Mariners scored their only run, bouncing to a fielder's choice. Rodriguez threw home to try and cut down Trayvon Robinson, but he threw a little bit wide. It was called an error. Jaso couldn't catch the throw. And then Gutierrez ended up on second base. 0 for 2 officially tonight. No RBI credited to the Mariners center fielder. Ichiro at first base. 30 steals on the year. Mariners leading 1-0 in the 5th. He's on the move. Pitch is hit back to Davis. He still tries for second out at first. Davis took a risk by going for the force out, and he barely got the throw ahead of the sliding Ichiro. And a quick double play turn.
Yeah, boy, this is a big one, too, because Ichiro was on the move when that ball went back to Davis. We'll take a look here at the double play, our checkers double of the game. He turns and goes right to Zobrist just in the nick of time, and Zobrist, who had to make the hurried throw, though a little bit high, but Kochman kept his foot on the bag to complete this nifty double play.
Now Adam Kennedy tries to hold up, but he goes around. 0-1. In this game where a run here, an extra 90 feet there means a lot. Rays able to erase Ichiro as he was trying to steal on a double play. Come back right back to Wade Davis. Away, it's 1-1.
You know, the other side, of course, you do this instinctively. But with a right-handed batter up there, Gutierrez, the ball was hit so hard. You figure, take a shot at second. You'd still probably get the guy at first. The worst thing, you're going to have a runner at second base. Well, he tried it and got them both.
Yeah, it was a quick turn by Wade. He really got rid of the ball in a hurry. And the other danger factor there is not only is the guy at second possibly safe, but the guy is close enough to possibly take out your relay throw. In this case, Zobrist was able to hang in there and make the throw a little bit high to Kochman. But they were able to turn 2. Zobrist continues to have a very good 2011, offensively and defensively. Wade Davis ahead 1-2 on Kennedy. And that's a little bit upstairs, maybe inside 2-2. An unearned run so far, the only run plated in this game. Turner scoring that run in the 3rd. Out wet. The other thing about where Desmond Jennings was playing Ichiro and what Joe Madden loves about the young left fielder for the Rays is he says this guy sees the spray charts, he looks at Tom Foley's defensive lineman before the game, and that's it. He knows exactly where to go for each hitter. Swing and a foul tip caught by Jaso. We'll talk more about that a little later on, but a strong comeback after an Ichiro infield hit led off the inning.
And he's been very good so far. 6 strikeouts, giving up just the 1 unearned run. That came in the 3rd on this play right here. Got out of a spot in the 5th inning after the infield hit. They turned the double play, and he struck out Kennedy to end the top half of the 5th. Toe-to-toe with Felix Hernandez.
Yeah, Casey Kochman will lead off for the Rays against Felix, bottom of the 5th, and there's that good breaking ball. Starts it outside, breaks it over the outside corner, 0-1. So tough for lefties on that pitch. Felix has everything working tonight. So far he's allowed 2 walks. He has struck out 6. And this one is chopped off the plate by Kochman, foul. Felix ahead of the count, 0-2.
You know, he's had Kochman out in front. He struck him out on a changeup in the 2nd inning. He got ahead in the count. Now he had Casey out in front there. And that's not been easy to do for hitters or for pitchers against Kochman this year. He's been so patient at the plate. He's very still up there, and for him to be out in front, Felix Hernandez is doing something special.
And Casey's also been such a good 2-strike hitter, just always keeping the ball in play with 2 strikes. But it's a different beast on the mound tonight facing Felix. There you just see him spoil that pitch on the outside corner. Didn't feel like he could do anything with that. It stays 0-2.
Yeah, this is just to stay alive right here. And that's what good hitters do. We saw Ichiro do that in his first at bat.
Previous foul ball, the pitch was behind the plate when Kochman made contact.
And even that pitch right there, that curveball that came in, he's not going to make good contact, but you know, that's probably a strike, and he fouls it off. Look at this.
Staying alive, 0-2. 5 of the 6 strikeouts for Felix have been on changeup. The other one a curveball. That's a pitch way up and away, 1-2.
How about that? You have to fight through 4 pitches the way Kochman did to get a pitch that's not a good pitch from this guy.
It is a tough at-bat, a defensive at-bat. He saw a tough curveball to start the at-bat on the outside corner, and then he chopped one just up the first baseline foul. And he stayed alive twice at 0-2, and now he's still in the hole, but at least he's still alive at 1-2. A line drive by Desmond Jennings to start the game for the Rays in the bottom of the 1st inning is the only real hard hit ball in this game against Felix. And that was a diving catch, a great catch by Trayvon Robinson. 1-2 pitch way away. It's 2-2.
You know, that trip to the mound I think is kind of interesting. Olivo went out there. Hernandez got a little quick with that breaking ball with the turn of his body. He gives you that little movement anyway, and he may have gotten ahead of himself a little bit on that curveball that wasn't very good. But then he comes back with a pitch like that, another change.
Strikeout number 7 as we take it down to Angela Jacobs.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, some good news for the Rays this week for rookie pitcher Alex Cobb. He underwent successful surgery in Dallas to remove that blood clot. You know, last week they tried to do the surgery and he had a bad reaction to medicine. That wasn't the case. Yesterday it was successful, where doctors removed a blockage from his subclavian vein. That's one of 2 large veins that run down the sides of your body, pumping blood from your extremities to your heart. So obviously, athletically and health-wise, very important to resolve that for Alex Cobb. Guys?
All right, Angela, as B.J. Upton lives on a ground ball that got past the third baseman, as Adam Kennedy couldn't make the play. That is a hit. That is called a base hit, the first hit of the night for the Tampa Bay Rays, but a play that Adam Kennedy probably feels like he should make.
Here's a look. It's sharply hit, but I think you're right. Adam Kennedy would tell you that that's a play that he would expect himself to come up with. Played it off to his left, and it got the hop down and skipped right by him. And that's going to be the first hit of the night.
That breaks a hitless streak for Upton against Felix Hernandez. He was 0 for his last 16 prior to that hit against Felix Hernandez. It's a hit for now, but usually that first hit of the game, you don't like to change those because that's a critical hit. So B.J. Upton on first. He'll be off and moving. Olivo double pumps, never got control of the baseball, and B.J. Upton has his team-leading 25th steal of the year.
Well, the young Cy Young Award winner Felix Hernandez gives up what probably should have been the second out. It's a base hit. And then the steal attempt by Upton, and Olivo just couldn't find the handle on that baseball after 2 or 3 attempts.
Second steal of the night for the Rays. BJ's off for third. Olivo can't grab the ball again. And BJ safe with his 26th steal. It's a called strike. It's 1-1 to Joyce.
Well, this is the kind of thing you have to do against Felix Hernandez. One of the reasons we thought in the 4th inning Jennings might try to steal third and force the issue. You've got to do that, and Upton has done that here on 2 consecutive pitches.
Infield in. The pitch is low for Joyce. It's 2-1. Infield was in for the Mariners' lone run when Franklin Gutierrez hit a ground ball to Sean Rodriguez. The throw was a little wide, and it scored the run as Trayvon Robinson crossed the plate. Rays see if they have the contact play on. You would think they do. Which means as soon as the ball is hit, B.J. Upton will be off and running as long as it's on the ground. 3-1 now to Matt Joyce. Rays trying to tie this game up after a base hit by B.J. Upton. Got past Adam Kennedy and a couple of steals. Out back. It's full now to Matt Joyce. First time up, Joyce struck out on a 2-2 changeup. That has been the pitch of choice for Hernandez when going for a punch out, and with a runner on third and 1 out. You know he's looking for the strikeout here.
He got Zobrist on a 3-2 curveball in the 4th.
Low, taking for ball 4 by Matt Joyce.
He stayed with a changeup, but he gives up the walk.
That changeup was just a little too low to get Joyce to offer. Matt saw it pretty well, but that started out below the knees and dived down into the dirt. So Joyce able to take. And now it'll be interesting to see how Seattle plays the defense. Probably corners in and middle back, looking to try and turn 2 against John Jaso. Well, you knew the Rays were going to have to do something on the base paths to just disrupt the rhythm of Felix Hernandez and give him a chance for an extra 90 feet at a time to score on this reigning Cy Young Award winner. B.J. Upton was able to steal 2 bags, and now first and third with 1 out, and John Jaso a chance right here. He takes a called strike. Jaso just back from his rehab assignment at AAA Durham. 6 games, he batted an even .300 with a couple of doubles and 4 runs batted in. Rays using their first and third bunt play. Jaso gets it down nicely, and we have a tie game. Well, Jaso not asked to bunt a lot, but he was able to get the ball down the first base side, and the Rays used one of their favorite plays to tie it at 1.
Well, the Rays used that play better than any other team we've seen, and they're thinking outside the box a little bit. Down 0-1, you think maybe they would wait till they got into a better count after Jaso got down. But this is a daring bunch calling for that bunt, and the Rays tie it.
It is a daring bunch, and you know when you get a guy close to scoring against Felix, you try anything you can to bring him home. Now Sean Rodriguez tries a bunt, pops it up, and an easy play coming in off the mound for Felix Hernandez. But a single for B.J. Upton, a couple of steals, and the Rays' old first and third bunt play has tied the game at 1 apiece. Our Toyota inside look. It didn't take a lot for the Rays. This ground ball gets past Adam Kennedy, ruled a base hit, but then speed as Miguel Olivo couldn't cleanly handle either of those pitches on stolen base attempts, putting BJ Upton at third. And with first and third and one out, the Rays employed their favorite bunt play to score the run, and now it's tied at 1 apiece. Kind of rally you need against a guy like Felix Hernandez as Mike Karp takes a strike. It's 1-1.
Yeah, you have to be creative against a guy like Felix Hernandez and take a couple of chances, and the Rays did.
Hernandez could easily still have a no-hitter through 5 in this game. But BJ's ground ball was ruled a hit. And there you see, they tried to hold on BJ with Luis Rodriguez at second close to the bag, and then John Jaso gets that bunt down. Wade Davis delivers inside and low, 2-2 to Karp. So small ball, necessary at times for the Rays this year to create some offense, but imperative against a guy like Felix Hernandez.
And we just saw the impact that Upton can make when he got on base in what was ruled a base hit. Promptly swiped a couple bases.
Line drive caught by Ben Zobrist. Ruled a catch by second base umpire Mark Wagner. 1 away here in the 6th. Karp had been on base both times with a single and a walk. As he continues to play well here over the last 3 weeks.
You know, the other thing about the bunt play is that Jaso waited until that pitch was on him, and he did not give that away at all, and it really resulted in there being absolutely no play at the plate.
And the other thing that you saw in one of those replays was a bluff of a go by the runner on first, Matt Joyce. And that's a part of the play that the Rays have used by accident as Casper Wells grounds a foul. Sean Riggins a few years ago when they had that play on ran when he wasn't supposed to, but then the Rays noticed the second baseman moving to cover second. They said, hey, we got something here. Second baseman moves to cover second. That takes him away from a play at first if the first baseman has to make a toss. And so the Rays now employ that as a regular part of their first and third play, and it just opens up all kinds of avenues. Madden with a smile, knowing he's happy to be in a 1-1 game against the King. As Wade Davis fires a fastball for a called third strike. How about Wade with 7 strikeouts so far as we play here in the 6th?
And he gets ahead of Wells and then locates this fastball. That pitch down around the knees had away. He got a nice call right there on a good pitch. And Winters rings up Wells.
An unearned run allowed by Wade Davis so far in this game through 5 2/3 innings. While the Rays' run was earned, it easily could have been thwarted by defensive play by Adam Kennedy that allowed BJ Upton a leadoff hit. Actually, it was a 1-out base hit. BJ would eventually come around to score. So we could easily be looking at a scoreless game here for both these pitchers. Miguel Olivo has struck out looking and grounded out the third. He's 0 for 2. Coming in as the team leader with those 15 home runs. So that's 50 RBIs. Ground ball towards the hole and into left field for a base hit. So Olivo, a 2-out base runner for Seattle. Desmond Jennings makes the play back into the infield, and we were earlier talking about how Jennings is comfortable playing wherever the Rays put him defensively, and sometimes that's, for a young player, not easy to grasp, and they just love the fact that he's comfortable playing on the overshift sometimes, and he picks it up so quickly. They're not waving him over. They say he looks at that chart, he is in the spot he needs to be almost every time. Just another part of the game for Desmond. Just does a lot of the little things right. The Rays coaching staff and manager really appreciate that. Luis Rodriguez, the batter, runner on first, 2 outs, and he takes a pitch away. Rodriguez walked on 4 pitches his first time up, got ahead of the count 3-0 his second time up before Wade Davis worked the count full, and then Rodriguez flied out to right. The walk issued to Luis was one of 2 so far in the night by Wade Davis to go along with 7 strikeouts.
Olivo with a little bluff start out there. Those catchers go. Here's a guy. He's attempted 10 steals this year. How about that?
I could not believe that number. He's 50%. But still.
If you're only 50% stealing, you're in negative numbers.
But he has felt frisky on the bases this year. Look at him. There, the pitch home. This is grounded. Kochman's going to let Zobrist make the play, and wisely so. Ben throws over for the final out of the inning. Base hit, one man left on base. Bottom of the sixth we go. 1-1 game.
The largest automotive retailer in the country, so we can do big things. By Subway, eat fresh. And by Toyota, moving forward.
Bottom half of the sixth inning. Rays will have the top of the order facing Felix Hernandez in a 1-1 game. The Rays have one hit. It wasn't a very impressive hit. It was a chopping ground ball that got past Adam Kennedy. And one run. Desmond Jennings tries to bunt. This is a fair ball. Olivo on in a hurry. And he retires. Jennings to lead off the sixth inning. Time now for the Auto Text poll question of the night. How about the city of Seattle? Of the bands that have come from Seattle, who's the best rock and roll band? Jimi Hendrix, TB1, Heart, TB2, Nirvana, TB3, Pearl Jam, TB4, Alice in Chains, TB5. Text your vote to 789-789. Standard message and data rates apply. A lot of talented groups from the Emerald City. Johnny Damon appreciates a lot of those bands as he will hit here with one out in the sixth. Takes a pitch away, 1-0. Johnny, after starting his career against Felix, 8 for his first 12, is now 2 for his last 8. He sends Trayvon Robinson back, and Robinson makes the play for the second out.
Yeah, I think Johnny Damon would have cast his vote for Pearl Jam.
Yeah. The thing about Johnny is occasionally when he rides our bus, you know it's going to be a musical affair. So a lot of quiet talk is sometimes overridden by Johnny's musical boombox.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But there's usually a theme to it,
which is cool. It's usually he's a DJ. He sets up a theme. If we're going to California, it's California songs. It's good stuff. Yeah, he loves his music. Pearl Jam right there, though. Here's Evan Longoria, called strike. You get the feeling that the Rays were thrilled to get one run off Felix Hernandez. Right now, his pitch count is much better than Wade Davis's. Felix, 2 outs into the sixth, is at 74 pitches now as Evan Longoria lines out. Wade Davis is at 100, and that'll do it for the Rays. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Felix Hernandez. We head to the seventh of a 1-1 game. baseball. Fun one tonight. All tied at 1. Here with more, Dwayne Stats.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. A run in the third for Seattle, unearned. And a run for the Rays in the fifth. Driven home by John Jaso. And the Rays got the base hit from Upton, who stole second and third. After Joyce walked, Jaso and the Rays employed the bunt play to tie this game at 1. J.P. Howell is up in the bullpen. Wade Davis to start the 7th. Kyle Seager, the number 8 hitter. Second baseman fouls it away. So Wade just over 100 pitches now. Robinson next, and then Ichiro Suzuki. Seager got a base hit in the 4th inning. 1 of 5 allowed by Wade Davis. It's a ball and a strike. Wade made 111 pitches in his last outing 9 days ago against Kansas City. 112 is his high. And a long drive to right field. That ball is well hit and is out of here. Kyle Seager hits his first home run. He turns a fastball around, and that's going to make it 2-1. So the rookie second baseman out of the University of North Carolina has just belted home run number 1. And it gives Seattle the lead.
Well, John Jaso wants that pitch on the outer half. Wade Davis had just moved him off the plate with the previous pitch, but Wade missed location there. Instead of outer half, that was right in on the inner half. And Seager took care of it from there.
Breaking ball is a strike to Robinson. Well, the 8 and 9 hitters have scored the runs tonight. A couple of youngsters, Seager just 23. And Robinson, 23 years old, lifts this one down the left side, and it's out of the reach of Jennings, who was set to go into that slide. And the count is 2 strikes.
Yeah, he went into the slide, but it hit on top, unfortunately, of the padding there, just beyond his reach. I think J.P. Howell might be warming up for Ichiro. This might be Wade Davis' final batter.
Pitch is fouled again to the left side. That's going to be well out of play. Still 2 strikes.
Tell what just missing location can do to you, especially in a game where a run is huge. Wade wanted that pitch. John Jaso wanted that pitch outer half, and he missed on the other half of the plate. Seager was able to hit his first big league home run.
You know, that's the 17th home run given up by Wade Davis, and only the 3rd by a left-handed hitter. It's 1-2. But inside right there. 2-2. Robinson out on strikes. It's the 8th strikeout. Well, just look where Jaso sets up away and watch the path of this pitch.
This is called missing location and right into the wheelhouse. Big uppercut swing by Seager, and there was no doubt about that. Wade's going to get to stay in here and try and finish off Ichiro and maybe the inning.
Ichiro 1 out of 3. And the infield hit his last time, and pops this one back a 3rd foul. That's a strike. Ichiro has been in the mid 260s, and there's a big difference in his hot zone. His entire career, that thing is all lit up. I don't care where it is, it's all red. But it's gone right down the middle now. And if you, in other words, he's not getting the pitches with the same authority that he got the pitches all over the strike zone before. If it's down the middle, that's one thing. And he takes this one through the hole on the left side, and that's his second hit tonight. And that's been the difference if you break it down, just looking at the different zones where hitters have success. And his would be down the middle of the plate.
This one had a little bit of outer half as he was able to reach out and poke that one in between short and third. And that's your classic Ichiro swing. That's what we saw for all those years. This year, it hasn't been as successful reaching out and taking that ball the other way. It hasn't been having as much luck as he normally does with batted balls in play, as he has had that career low at batting average so far this year.
Franklin Gutierrez. Ichiro draws a throw and is back in. He is still a threat to run at first base. Mariners have taken the lead on Seager's home run, so they might be a little aggressive here. And a liner into left. Jennings, a little stutter step out there, and he makes the catch as he zeroed in on the flight of that baseball. And Gutierrez is out number 2.
You know, Madden leaving Wade Davis out there longer than he normally would. I think the 8 days of rest have something to do with that. It feels like he can extend Wade a little bit. His highest pitch total of the season already, and he's going to let him try and go again here with Adam Kennedy.
Now Madden has, as we mentioned earlier, Howell down there. And Juan Cruz also getting up. So with Kennedy, the left-handed bat here, stepping in, Davis will get a shot at him. Ichiro away from first, and a move to first dug out by Kochman. Kennedy 0 for 3, retired in the third on a good play by Longoria at third base. Struck out the other 2 trips to the plate. Again a move. Ichiro back in, standing up. The Mariners do a little running, and Ichiro tops the list in this lineup. No count yet to Kennedy. The pitch lined into right. Joyce is there to glove it, and that retires the side. A run on the home run by Seager. 7th inning stretch, 2-1 Seattle.
Figure of David Price featuring his Super Dog Astro, presented by Metro PCS. You'll definitely want to pick up that dynamic duo, a unique giveaway item. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets today.
On to the bottom of the 7th inning, middle of the order for the Rays, starting with their cleanup hitter tonight, Ben Zobrist. Kochman to follow, and then Upton. 2-1 Seattle. Felix Hernandez delivers, and a little tap halfway to the mound, and Hernandez quickly on it with a pickup and throw, and Ben is the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out. 75 pitches for Felix Hernandez so far tonight. 1 out into the 7th.
Wade Davis up to 114. His night almost definitely will be done, but that was one of his better performances of the year. He just made that one mistake to Seager, but other than that, that was a real nice outing for Wade.
Now Casey Kochman. And there's a first pitch strike, a fastball. Hernandez has been ahead of most Rays hitters tonight. He's used that changeup effectively to a number of hitters, including to Kochman twice. He has struck him out on the changeup. And a breaking ball hit on the ground. Grabbed by Kennedy, and he cannot make the play. Kennedy to his left. Got it. Tried to get a throw away, but could not find the handle. And Kochman is aboard.
Adam Kennedy is making it a tough night for the official scorer here, Billy Matthews, as he's had 2 plays that really, if he throws the ball cleanly after he spins here, he kind of knocks it down. The ball's not quite in his webbing. Well, it is in his webbing. And then a transfer, he just kind of boots it. I think he would have had Casey if he made the clean transfer.
So Kochman is aboard. But both these plays have involved Kennedy. Upton popping one foul. That's going to carry behind the first base dugout, and that's going to be an error. It's kind of an interesting development that both these plays have involved Adam Kennedy. You know, sometimes they'll use extraordinary effort as a factor in determining whether a play is going to be ruled a hit or an error. Swing and a miss. Boy, that ball just ran right away from Upton. A slider, and the count is 0-2. Now there's a case where there was extraordinary effort, but if he makes that, if he can get the ball out of his glove, which he could not, from that point forward, he's going to throw him out at first. So yeah, it's an error.
Yeah, that's a good point. If he had a faster runner, that's a base hit.
Ground ball foul. It may have cracked the bat.
If he had a faster runner where after the spin he may have been safe or not, then it's a hit. But because he had Casey Kochman running, he still would have had time to make the play. But again, that other play where B.J. Upton's ground ball was ruled a hit, that easily could have been an error too. And sometimes you look for a clean hit for that first hit of the game against the pitcher. I think Bill Matthews is hoping the Rays have a clean hit somewhere in the next inning or two.
Yeah, there was definitely some indecision on Kennedy's part about how to play that ball that Upton hit, and he tried to essentially play it off to his left, and it skipped by him. Is it a playable ball? The answer is yes. It was a playable ball. This one is down. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now, let's take another look at PJ's hit. So far, the only hit the Rays have. So he hesitated there and then played it off to his left. So there's judgment involved on the part of the defender. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Off the bat, that's a play that should be made by a third baseman. He didn't give himself a good position to make that play by letting it play him and play it off to the side.
You know, it's almost it's similar to a play where sometimes you'll see a defender break the wrong way just for an instant and then not get back to make the play, and the ball goes through. Upton is out on strikes. It's 8 strikeouts for Felix Hernandez. 2 outs.
B.J. Upton down in the count, and you can see this fastball outer half of the plate BJ swings under it, and Felix Hernandez has racked up another strikeout.
Well, he started the night third in the league in strikeouts, and now he's tied with CC Sabathia on our Southern Ford Dealers leaderboard. Ground ball right side. This is Seager, and Felix Hernandez is over to cover, and Joyce is out 4-1 on that play. No runs, an error, and a man left. We're through 7, and it's still 2-1 Seattle. Areas. The Whitney Bank Club features upscale full menu buffet and inclusive drink options. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or go to RaysBaseball.com to purchase tickets or to pick up additional information. J.P. Howell's going to be the new pitcher for the Rays. Wade Davis goes 7. Made 114 pitches, and the Rays' pen has been very well rested.
122 games into the season, you can't get a bullpen much more rested than where the Rays are now with 40 games to go. Look at this. These guys had a rainout, an off day, and then other than Kyle Farnsworth, nobody in the pen was used in the Boston series. You're talking about J.P. Howell, weeks worth of rest, Joel Peralta 6 days, Jake McGee 8, Ramos and Cruz 5. That bullpen's ready to go.
Carp deleted off, and the pitch is inside. 1-0. JP follows Davis, Carp, Wells, and Olivo. Cruz stays busy in the Rays bullpen. This is skied the other way. Foul ball, and it's going to fall out of play down in front of the bullpen. Not high enough, not enough hang time to give Jennings a chance to track it down.
Thought it was interesting when you and Brian were talking about Carl Crawford not having that foul territory to roam in Boston. It's going to be fun to watch Desmond Jennings start to make plays in foul territory too with all this room. Yeah,
he's going to be quickly, I think, recognized as one of the top defenders in the American League for his outfield play. Pitch is high. 2 balls and a strike. And a great deal of it has to do, obviously, with his athleticism and that great speed, that instant speed that he has. But he's also willing, if you will, to be a student of the game, to study the angles and, as you pointed out earlier, digest some of the information that's available, just to put himself in the highest percentage spot, whether it's in the outfield or we've seen that in his at-bats, his approach. Carp into left center field. Upton on the run, got it! Upton in full stride, cutting into left center field, reaching up and making a fine running grab on that ball hit by Mark Carp.
Jennings shaded the other way. B.J. Upton shaded to pull. There's a huge gap in left center field, and we have speed like these guys. Look at the ground. Upton covers just in glide motion right there. Looks like he's running free and easy, and he covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, he was chugging to get this one, and a good effort into left center field. So that's the first out, and a pitching change coming. Madden wants the right-hander.
Greatness moment later in tonight's game. There it is. Not much later. Almost immediate.
Now we're in the 8th inning. Well, Juan Cruz will be the new pitcher. I'll tell you, Upton took an extra base hit away from Carp against the lefty, and Carp is on a mission to convince the Mariners that he can hit lefties. He's hitting .375 and limited at bats against him, and had a double taken away from him right there, at least a double by Upton. So here's Wells to face Juan Cruz. And the first pitch is a strike, a fastball. 43rd appearance for Cruz. 1/3 of an inning for Howell, and now the righty. It's outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
When you have Jennings in left and Upton in center, it allows Joe Madden, Davey Martinez to get very aggressive with their defensive alignments. They like to play percentages anyhow with spray charts, but it allows them to go even deeper into those adjustments.
The base hit through the hole between short and third. Wells has his first hit tonight.
This weekend, the Rays Baseball Tomorrow Fund and Waste Management will hold an equipment drive at Tropicana Field. So bring new or used baseball or softball equipment to the Waste Management Bagster collection points inside gates 1 and 5. All items collected will be donated to the Police Athletic League of St. Pete. Fans who donate items will be registered to win Rays prizes and tickets.
Here's Miguel Olivo. He fouls it right back into the screen. Well, the Rays have been out hit tonight, 8-1 by Seattle, and they trail 2-1. Upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And really in that one run for the Rays, it was 2 mishandled balls defensively by the Mariners in that inning that allowed them to score the run. B.J. Upton stole second. He was going to be safe whether Olivo caught it clean or not. But at third, Olivo might have had a play, but he was unable to make the transfer on a mishandle. And B.J. reached base when Adam Kennedy couldn't make a play.
Breaking ball is down. It's 2-1. Well, that's the kind of game you have to play against Felix Hernandez. Here's another outing. He's given the Rays 1 run. So that's, to this point, 7 games out of 9 starts he's made. He's given them either 0 or 1 run.
And tonight we could easily be looking at a no-hitter.
Swing and a miss. 2-2. Breaking pitch again. Yeah, and to this point, really, Hernandez has not been taxed. The only thing that's been taxing, as far as he's concerned, is his defense.
Right. Yeah, defensively, like I said, he could easily be throwing a no-hitter right now. Defensively, he hasn't had a ton of support tonight. He did have a great play by Trayvon Robinson early, but that was it.
Swing and a miss. Olivo missed the fastball up. The 9th strikeout for Rays pitching, the first for Cruz.
Here's Juan Cruz throwing a high heater. Fastball up in the zone. Miguel Olivo with 2 strikes, close enough to take a pitch. Couldn't catch up.
Now Luis Rodriguez. He's 0 for 2. He walked in the 2nd inning. Takes off. The pitch is a strike, and the throw is in time. A one-hop throw from Jaso to cut down Wells. Sean Rodriguez put the tag on him. That'll end the top of the 8th. Rays down 2-1. Hard Rock at Night. Tropicana Field tonight. We move into the bottom of the 8th inning. Joe Madden and the Rays down by a run with just 1 hit and 3 walks. The Rays have picked up 3 stolen bases. And John Jaso will lead off. It'll be Jaso, then Sam Fold has moved into the on-deck circle. They hit for Rodriguez. First pitch inside. It's just the 85th pitch of the night thrown by Felix Hernandez. And the fastball is a strike. 1-1. Line drive sharply hit. short hop Seager, who recovers and makes the play. Seager stayed with it on that screaming low liner on one hop. Jaso is the first out.
It's a nice play by Seager. That's a tough hop. Watch this. It just has him ride it up his arm a little bit. Off the heel of the glove, almost the wrist area, but he keeps it deadened in front of him close enough that he's able to make the play on Jaso. That was one of the harder hit balls tonight against Felix Hernandez. That line drive and the Desmond Jennings line out to left field early in the game are probably the two hardest hit baseballs against the King tonight.
Sam Fold takes the first pitch, and that's a strike. Rodriguez lifted for the pinch hitter. And a base hit the other way. Fold serves it to the left of Kennedy, and there's a legitimate hit.
Bill Matthews is the happiest guy in the ballpark right now, the official scorer, because the first hit by B.J. Upton wasn't exactly a clean hit, but now the Rays have a clean hit on the ledger. And Sam Fold is a pinch hitter, just going the other way. Past Adam Kennedy, who was shifted well off the line.
And with this pinch hit single, the Rays get the potential tying run aboard and the potential lead run at the plate. Quick toss over to first base. Well, the Rays forced the issue when Upton was on base, and that led to their only run. It's getting late. Rays down to their final 5 outs.
Sam has had an adventurous off day. He lost a front tooth. Does he dive head first even on his off days? Like just at home practicing? It's unbelievable.
The pitch is a strike.
I didn't notice that before the game. I'll have to find out what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. We got the pickup game of hockey. Back head first, at first. There's a little less weight to carry. So if he's going to steal, let's go.
Well, the way he goes crashing on his head for his dives, he might knock the other one out. Make it look even across the front.
A swing and a miss by Jennings on the off-speed pitch. That's been such a great pitch. It is a great pitch for Hernandez, and it's been evident tonight.
He's thrown it against lefties and righties with equal efficiency. This one is just diving down, looks like a fastball out of the hand. Desmond swings over it.
That's low. A ball and 2 strikes. One of the things that Jennings does so well is wait, but you could see on strike 2 the indecision that he had, and that's all it takes, and then you're done.
Yeah, Felix Hernandez with that fastball changeup combination. Again, not much separation in miles per hour, but a lot of difference in movement and dive.
And a swing and a miss. Curveball got him there.
Felix has put everything right on the money. Watch Olivo set up low for the curveball, and that is low with the curveball. He's putting the pitches where he wants, maybe just a little bit above this target, but not by much, and that's a tough pitch with 2 strikes to get that curveball on you.
Well, he puts so many thoughts in your mind as a hitter. It gets to a point where you don't know what to do with this guy.
I mean, it's almost to the point where it's a must-go for Sam Fold. You don't anticipate a rally where you're going to bunch up a couple of hits. You maybe hope that Johnny Damon can hit one in the gap, but it's almost like Sam, you've got to try and steal a base.
And Damon takes a fastball for a strike. Starts the left-handed hitter with that fastball. Rays down 2-1. Goes Robinson stops, and a swing and a foul strike right back into the middle of Olivo. 0-2.
And now if you're Sam Fuld, I think he wanted to steal on that last pitch, and he just didn't get a good jump. I think he slipped a little bit. Now if you're Sam Fuld, down 0-2, you might as well go. Even if you get thrown out, you give Johnny Damon a fresh count to start the inning.
And a little ground ball to the left side. Kennedy up with it. And the throw to first, not in time. Damon beats it out as Kennedy, moving to his left, took too long to unload it. Boy, that could be a big play because it's going to get Longoria to the plate, and Damon has a base hit.
I don't know if Johnny Damon has gotten down the line that quickly all year. That was a double pump by Adam Kennedy and a terrible decision. Johnny Damon out of the box is flying. And look at the wheels for the Dr. Phillips product right here. I mean, he's easily in there. That is getting down the line.
So Damon hustles his way into a base hit and keeps the inning going. Pushes the potential tying run into scoring position for Evan Longoria. Evan takes it down and away. A slider. 1 ball, no strikes. 11 walked his. I know he didn't. He hit a fly ball to center his first time. Then he struck out and lined to third base. So he's looking for his first hit tonight off Hernandez. Came into the game 4 of 10 against him, and there's a base hit in the left. Here comes Fuld around. Robinson's throw not in time, and this game is tied. Evan Longoria picks up the base hit to tie this game. Well, part of that run batted in should belong to Johnny Damon for his hustle down the line to keep the inning going. Fuld scores the second run of the night. It's 2-2.
The defense was playing very deep on Evan Longoria. As soon as his base hit was towards the outfield, you knew the Rays were going to score a run. And Johnny Damon had a chance to read this throw by Robinson as he airmails this throw. If Johnny reads this right away, he's easily to third base because that was nowhere near the cutoff man. Instead, Johnny stays at second. And the Rays pick up a huge hit. But Damon, you're right, deserves a lot of credit for keeping this inning alive with that hustle.
So it's a 2-2 ball game. And here is Ben Zobrist. Ben 0 for 2 with a walk. And he fouls one out of play down the left side, a fastball.
You know, even on that play by Damon, as much as you credit the hustle, if Kennedy makes that throw right away instead of that one tap in his glove, that's the final out of the inning. He has not helped out his starting pitcher tonight.
It's just missed. 1-1. The Rays with a chance to take the lead. Zobrist shoots one into center. Gutierrez has it fall in front of him for a base hit. Here comes Damon, and the Rays lead 3-2. Zobrist flares it into center, and it dropped in front of Franklin Gutierrez for an RBI single. 3-2 Tampa Bay.
Boy, this is one of those games where you're going against a dominant pitcher who's throwing everything just where he wants it. That's a good changeup, outer half, and Ben Zobrist just enough on the end of the bat. Gutierrez makes a lot of great plays in center, but he couldn't get close enough for the diving effort there. And Johnny Damon with 2 outs running the whole way scores easily.
So the pinch hit, the 1-out pinch hit single by Fuld started this, and then with 2 outs, Damon beat the play at first base on a ground ball to the left side that Adam Kennedy took a little too much time. That's what the Rays needed to get them over the hump here. Longoria followed with a base hit to left to tie it. Zobrist followed with a base hit, dropping into shallow center field to score Damon with a go-ahead run, and now here's Kochman. Casey takes a pitch low, a ball and no strikes. So the Rays pushing Hernandez a little bit here in the bottom of the 8th to take a 3-2 lead. And the pitch is upstairs, 2-0. Hernandez got a visit from Carl Willis, his pitching coach, just to give him a chance to maybe catch his breath here, because it's turned out to be an extended inning for him. Casey bounds it off his foot, and the count is 2-1. That's 20 pitches in this inning, and that's the highest pitch count he's had in any one inning tonight.
There you see the breakdown. 18 in the 4th, 17 in the 5th, but a lot of 10s and an 11. He has pitched Casey Kochman too, as well as he's pitched anybody in the lineup. Casey's been in battle mode this whole night. Even when he reached on the error, he had a tough pitch that he just fought off in on his hands. This is the first time he's had a hitter's count.
And he fouls it back. That was a curveball that was up a little bit more than we've seen any other curveball tonight from Hernandez.
One of the rare mistakes, and sometimes you make a mistake like Wade Davis, probably his only mistake all night, missed with location to Seager and it was hit out. Sometimes you make a mistake and you get away with it. You're right, Dwayne, that was up in the zone a little bit and Casey just fouled it away.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball sharply hit. Rodriguez safe at second base. And Rodriguez got a little turned around on that ground ball. He took a step the wrong way and had to reach back and found himself in an awkward position to try to make a play at second base. And the inning will continue.
I'm not sure if this ball hits the mound and fools Rodriguez, but he completely overplays this ground ball. Let's take a look. No, that's just a ground ball that he's breaking towards the bag and just doesn't come up with it cleanly. He was moving with the pitch, and that took him out of position to make this play. And good hustle for Ben Zobrist to get there.
You know, it's almost the situation of the play we talked about last inning on a hitter. You know, does he get a base hit or not? Well, he does. He gets a base hit here. In this case, a defender moved the wrong way and then put himself in an awkward position to make any play. And it's a base hit for Kochman. So now B.J. Upton takes a pitch down, 1-0, and Felix Hernandez, who's pitched great tonight, only to be let down by his defense behind him. Technically, they've made only 1 error, but boy, it's been tough for him.
It must feel like he's picked up about 29 or 30 outs tonight. It's a lot of little strange base hits, balls that should be played. Johnny Damon with a good hustle, but a double pump by Adam Kennedy. A lot of different plays where if he has some defense behind him, he's on the winning end of this game instead of down 3-2.
Upton sends a fly ball into right. Ichiro is there to make the catch to retire the side. But the Rays kept this inning going on the hustle by Johnny Damon, and they turned that into 2 runs, and they have a 3-2 lead as we go to the ninth. Fielder and the NL Central leading Brewers head to New York to battle the Mets. This week's telecast of Fox Saturday Baseball begins at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, only on Fox. Reed Brignac in the game at shortstop as we go to the ninth inning. Kyle Farnsworth is on the hill, fourth Rays pitcher. He'll try to close this one out with the Rays leading 3-2.
52nd game for Farnsworth, a stellar season, 21 saves and an ERA below 2.
Dustin Ackley will pinch hit to open the ninth, and the first pitch is a strike. Ackley hitting for Rodriguez. Ackley, who ironically enough would have been at third base tonight, but had the night off, and Kennedy in there to fill that spot for him. Strike 2 to Ackley. 0-2. Ackley out of North Carolina, 286 with 5 home runs. With 2 runs in the 8th to take a lead. Ackley fouls it back. 2 strikes.
Yeah, they wanted to give Ackley the night off. You'd think, okay, that helps out the Rays. A big stick in the lineup not in there, but it also came into play defensively. You'd have Seager probably in third and his North Carolina buddy Ackley at second, and who knows how this game turns out.
An 0-2 count. Swing and a miss. So Ackley out on strikes. 10 strikeouts for Rays pitching tonight.
Well, Ackley, a very dangerous hitter, and this is just, look at that slider, that good spin, and Ackley tries to stay on it. He swings over it. That is a great pitch there by Kyle Farnsworth ahead of the count.
Here is Kyle Seager. Seager 2 for 3, including that home run. The pitch is up. 1 ball, no strikes. Miss. It's now 1-1. Two balls, 1 strike to count. Rays started this series. It will be a 10-game season series with Seattle, and they started the series down 3 games to 4. And there's a strike, 2-2. And they're trying to pull even in the season series tonight, and they faced a very tough Felix Hernandez. To say the Rays were opportunistic might be an understatement.
Unorthodox rally. Unorthodox scoring the whole game long. Give the Rays pitchers, Wade Davis in particular, credit for keeping them around to have a chance against that guy.
On ball 3, the count is full. Seager went out after that pitch and is out on strikes. 2 up, 2 down.
I don't know, Kyle Farnsworth had an 83-mile-an-hour pitch. He throws very few changeups, but that might have been one. I mean, the ball's back in his hand, and there it is, 83, and Seager's like, what happened in 95, 96 with the fastball?
Base is empty. Rayvon Robinson in the batter's box, and he fouls this one right off the mask of John Jaso. Strike one. That fastball in about 98, and listen to this. Just off the disabled list, and hello, welcome back.
You get to face Felix Hernandez, and that'll happen to you late in the game.
Ground ball down to first, fair ball. Kotzman to Farnsworth, Rays win it. Rays with 2 runs in the 8th inning post a 3-2 victory here tonight. And they have beaten Felix Hernandez. The Rays, in their 5th attempt to go 11 games over 500, make it happen. It's a 3-2 final. 3 runs, 6 hits, and an error for the Rays. 2-8-1 for Seattle. The Rays left 6, 3 of those in the 8th when they left the bases loaded. And they come away with a victory. Cruz will get the win. And Felix Hernandez takes the loss. Tonight's Miller Lite tastes great in this moment.
8th inning rally for the Rays with pinch hitter Sam Fuld going the other way. A 1-out base hit into left. It was really the first clean hit of the night. And then Johnny Damon, look at that hustle. The veteran showing wheels down the first base line, beating out the infield hit. Then Evan Longoria pulls a breaking ball into the hole in left field. Fuld scores easily. And then a little bloop off a changeup. Ben Zober is able to get enough into center field to score what would prove to be the game-winning run. It was an unorthodox rally against a very good pitcher, and Johnny Damon right in the middle of it. He's standing by with Angela Jacobs.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, Johnny, wow, what an 8th inning for you guys. Obviously, Sam Fuld with the pinch hit to get on base, but you running out that ball, come on.
Well, that's the one thing you can control in this game is going out there and hustling every single play. You know, sometimes you can't guide the hits and all that stuff, but you can at least run it out. That's what I did, and just beat it.
Talk about just that battle in the 8th inning. It's kind of, you know, indicative of off the road trip. You guys are resilient. No one's thrown in this towel.
Yeah, we feel like we still have a chance in this. You know, we know there's 39 games left to go now. I mean, if we can somehow win 30 games of it, which our team is capable of doing, our pitchers are definitely capable of keeping us in this thing, and we'll see what happens. But we had some great at-bats there in the 8th. Started with Sam. Longo brings in the time run, and, you know, Zobrist has been huge for us all year, so it was great that he got that hit. But we beat a very good pitcher tonight, and fortunately, I still have my my sprinter's legs still.
Yes, you do. And talking about that really good pitcher, wow, he had a gem going into the 8th inning. You were one of the few guys with success against him, but just talk about that nasty curveball and everything he was working.
Well, he knows where to put his pitches. You know, every fastball he threw for a strike to me was right on the outside corner. His changeup was really good tonight, and that's what he struck a lot of guys out with tonight. But our team's resilient, and we just kept battling, and, you know, this is a great win. Glad Kyle got another save, but you know, Wade Davis kept us in this ball game. He pitched really well, and our bullpen did their job.
Johnny Damon, thank you. Great job. Yes, that Rays pitching staff, by the way, 11 strikeouts. Wade Davis with 8 of them. Guys, back to you.
All right, Angela, thank you. The Rays have now won 8 out of 10 as they pick up their 67th victory of the year tonight. 3-2 over the Mariners. Back in a moment.